Welcome to Through the Bible in a Year with Pastor John. We invite you to join us at 1 Oakleigh Avenue in North Providence, Rhode Island. This podcast is presented to you by The Way Ministries, supported by listeners like you. For donations, live videos, podcasts, and more, please visit www.thewayministriesri.org. Thank you and have a great day.
Hi everybody, welcome to Through the Bible in a Year with Pastor John. So glad you could join me today to get a portion of God's Word. Today we're going to begin with day 288, October 14th, Reflection in Worship, Committed to the Task. But before we get started, I just want to say it's an awesome time to look back on the previous 6 days of reading, and if you fell behind a little bit, to catch up. Don't beat yourself up, like I always say, just keep on keeping on. God rewards faithfulness, not perfection. So just keep up the good work. Okay, let's get started. Those on the road to heaven will not be content to go there alone. Look back. The final week of Jesus' life is so important that about 40% of the verses in the 4 gospel accounts focus on the week that changed the world. This past week you have read Matthew's account, and tomorrow you will finish reading Mark's, and in the next 3 weeks you'll come to Luke's and John's record of that week. Notice which elements are repeated, which are omitted, and which are elaborated upon by the different gospel writers. In each case, the author's intent is not to confuse you, but to convince you that Jesus is indeed the King of the Jews, Matthew, the selfless servant, Mark, the Son of Man, Luke, the Son of God, John. As you see the final days of Jesus' life through the eyes of a tax collector, Matthew, a missionary, Mark, a physician, Luke, and a fisherman, John, don't be surprised if your vision is sharpened to see his purpose in coming and his purpose for leaving you here on earth until his return. Look up. Last words have a tendency to be lasting words, and the final utterances of Jesus are no different. The Great Commission is the name given to the final marching orders Jesus delivered to his disciples just before his ascension. You'll find the Great Commission in each of the 4 gospel accounts, and for good measure in the book of Acts. Take a few moments to look up each of the following verses, and on a separate sheet of paper, write down in your own words what Jesus told his disciples to do while he was away preparing an eternal home for them. Matthew 28:19-20. Mark 16:15, Luke 24:47, John 20:21, and Acts 1 verse 8. Look ahead. Coca-Cola, Honda, Microsoft. Why is it that a cola or car or computer software can become a household word in places most people can hardly find on the map, while the good news of Jesus Christ remains a mystery to millions nearly 20 centuries after the news first broke? Is it because their product has a better name than ours? Not likely. After all, we're introducing people to the one whose name is so majestic that it fills the earth. Psalm 8 verse 1. Is it because their product is better for you than ours? Hardly. We have the privilege of introducing people to the bread of life and the living water. Is it because their budget is bigger than ours? Maybe. And yet, more than $2 billion are invested in world missions every year. Or is it perhaps because they are simply more committed to their commission than we as Christians are committed to ours? It's well worth pondering and praying over. It's definitely something to think about. That's all for today, my friends. It was great reading along with you. Keep up the good work and keep on keeping on. And God bless. And I will see you tomorrow. Lord willing. Peace.